Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another reaction episode to The Expanse. This is Haarute Live, my name is Matt. This is it. This is the final episode of The Expanse. I mean, people have told me this, and if I understand everything correctly, I didn't even load up Prime Video, I'm sorry. But like, if I understand everything correctly, this is the final episode of The Expanse, and this will be the final episode of this story, and there might be more story afterwards in a different form, because there are more books, but the books kind of like, it's a completely different story, and maybe we'll get that eventually in the form of a different show or like a movie or a set of movies. I don't know. Here's to hoping that we do, but right now The Expanse is over, and we're gonna be watching this final episode together today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, okay. Let me recap what's been happening so far. So this entire season has been pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty good. Let me look at every single one of these episodes. So we've been having the Filip storyline. He has been struggling to essentially like deal with what he's been doing, because he kind of realizes in some way that it's bad, but because he's grown up next to Marco, just telling him everything in order to mold him into like a specific way, into like a freedom fighter, but not really, just like someone that just repeats the bullshit that his dad says, which is not true. So Filip has been struggling growing out of that in some way. So that's been happening on one side, and I kind of hope, I'm kind of thinking that what's gonna happen is that Filip and Marco are gonna like fucking fight, and maybe Filip's gonna kill him in this episode, maybe, hopefully. That's what's gonna stop the war. And it's gonna be this thing where, like, you know, like Holden didn't detonate the torpedo, and it's like, oh my god, Holden, you idiot. But Holden saved Filip's life, and then Filip is the one that takes Marco's life. So it's like, it works out, you know? It's this whole thing of like, hell yeah, good ending. So that could happen. Gunny joined up for like a little bit, and then they didn't. They managed to take out the Astro Dragon in order to stop the meteorites from being launched into the air, which allowed the UNN and Martian fleets to just go out and search for Marco. They went to Sirius Station. Marco had fucking left the fuck out of Sirius Station and planted a bunch of bombs in there. They are kind of blaming that on the Earthers. Monica made this whole video showcasing more or less what happened from her point of view, and interviewing people at Sirius about what kind of the situation was about. And also they released this like whole thing where like Anna on Earth is essentially saying this is the way life on Earth is right now, which is pretty bad. And so we're being open with each other in some way, and that's something I really like. It's something I really appreciate, the fact that everyone's just kind of being open about how things are, and it's not even lying, it's not manipulating, it's literally just like, this is the way things are right now for us. And that might be a good thing to show to everyone, really, on any side, to maybe understand your fellow men, you know? Prax managed to get this information that some researcher got about like some plant bullshit. He sent the information to Amos, which then relayed the information to Avasarala, which essentially is the solve for world hunger. Almost just like, my man, I mean, he didn't solve world hunger, but he was the one that brought the information to solve world hunger. So, you know, shout out to my man. Prax is gonna save humanity. And then previous episode, we got a lot of Drummer, and we've been getting Drummer every episode, but I think previous episode was the one that I felt Drummer the most, because I felt like a lot of what that episode was, I mean, it's been building up, but a lot of what that episode was a drama between Drummer and her emotions almost, and how she feels mostly about Naomi, and how torturous it's been for her. And ultimately it ends up coming down to Avasarala going and saying, I need Drummer's help, because I need someone on like the Builder side who has support and also hates Marco in order to like help us out. So what it's gonna end up being is this like whole army of like, you got the UNN, you got the Martians, you got the Belters. So when I say Martians, you mean the Martians that were not shit and betrayed everyone, that went to Laconia, so the good Martians, and then the Belters who are not shit and are Marco supporters, so the good ones. So all of them just team up in order to go fight Marco's Free Navy. That's good. But I appreciate how like difficult it was for Drummer to like actually join in, because like a big portion of why that was is because she's very emotional, but also she hates like inners almost, and you know she has reason to do so. You know, like history has proved that inners are awful to voters. So in like I understand exactly what she's saying and how she feels, but what actually convinced her was Naomi. And in some way, it was also Naomi the one that made her almost go the opposite way. But she had like a real conversation with Naomi, and what Naomi ended up saying, which was the part that fucked her up, is the fact that Naomi says, like really the only thing we can do is to like stand by the people that we love, not realizing what that means to Drummer. At which point Drummer just broke, and like I don't even know if Naomi knew why, because I don't even know if Naomi knows how Drummer feels. So that was really painful to watch, and ultimately Drummer ended up going, all right, I guess I'll do it. So and I like how she essentially told Avasarala to go and meet at like a public place in front of everyone, in front of all the Belters, instead of just hanging out at a ship. It's like, no, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this in public where everyone's gonna see. That was fantastic. I really appreciated that. And that was the end of the previous episode. So right now it feels like we have formed a massive alliance, and we're gonna have to maybe deal with Marco. Maybe Filip himself is gonna take care of Marco. Amos kind of lost his will to fight, and then he was like, you know what, I guess I'm going back, because Gunny told him about, you know, just like at the end of the day, all you have is like taking care of like your fellow men, people that are hanging out with you. And Amos had this moment of like, wait, shit, you're right. I don't really have anything else other than that. So I guess I'll do that because I do care, you know? And that was pretty good. And so Amos said, I guess I'm going back. I'm going to go to a brothel first, though. So that was fun. That was a very efficient recap. But I think that's going to be it for this recap, this intro. I don't know if there's anything else I can say. I'm just going to finish the episode, and then I'll say a lot of stuff. So yeah, this is going to be the finale. Man, it's been a long journey. It has really been a long journey. Like, I'm excited to do this, but also like a little bit like sad. But okay, I believe we should start. But before we begin, let me show my Patreon. So yeah, check out the Patreon in order to watch full-length reactions for all of the Expanse. I would offer you early access, but there's no more episodes, so this is it. So if you want to watch full length for this episode or any of them, you can check out the Patreon right there. Or if you want to watch the first episode of what has now been confirmed, the replacement show for the Expanse, which is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if you want to watch that, it's also available on Patreon. So yeah, or at least it should be, hopefully, if my living situation is fine. But that's it. And another thing is that I gotta give a special shoutouts to Non-Men for being a $50 patron, which is a tier that I made a long time ago, because I was like, if at some point I come across like Jeff Bezos' like son or some shit, they can give me money. I don't feel shame in that, and like you get literally nothing for that other than me saying your name. So here it is. Shoutouts to Non-Men for supporting the channel like really hard. It means a lot to me. Like that's it. That's a real one. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it. So let us begin. The Expanse Season 6, Episode 6 finale. Show finale, series finale. Let's fucking go. I still don't know what that is in the sky. Some remains of some alien spaceship. It's this guy, Duarte. He looked like pleased.
The dogs fixed him. Dogs? What are you talking about?
Right behind you. Is he covered in blood? Well, it should be his own blood, shouldn't it?
I want a hug too. It's okay, he's fine.
No.
I mean, he looks creepy as hell.
Can't be your brother's not no!
Daddy?
Stop! No!
You're really quick to be aggressive to someone that looks like your son. He immediately got fixed. Wow.
There's nothing you can eat out here. You'll die.
This is really smart now. This kid.
If I die, the dogs will fix me.
Whoa. Yeah, he's seeing everything through a blue filter. Yeah, he sees all the inner workings and shit. Is this thing moving now because of the kid? Was it moving before? Like, being active? We're not gonna get any clear answers, are we? I like the drummers here. This makes me happy.
We're gonna capture Marco's railguns.
Those guns have shredded half a dozen MCR and gunships.
We've come up with a way to distract those guns and make ourselves a much harder target.
How?
We'll get to that in a minute.
It's quite ingenious, actually. We'll make a belter proud.
Thank you.
The MCR.
Drummer approved. I'm looking forward to it.
You're such a fucking optimist.
Someone has to be.
You've lived this long.
Main character, baby. Main character plot armor. Wait, shit, it's the final episode. He could die. For a second, I was like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. Wait, shit, it's the final episode. Literally anything could happen this episode. Fuck. We could have death. We had a lot of death. Oh boy. Like, I'm really waiting for Filip to actually, like, do something. They're building it up. He has to, like, come in clutch.
You know, a lot of Martians still consider the Rocinante a stolen ship. They insist on calling it the Tachi.
How many times does the Rosie have to save the human race for them to be like, you know what, fine. You okay? I mean, have you been overusing your mod and it's been harming you? Complex endocrine collapse syndrome. No approved course of treatment. Average life expectancy 5 years. Alright.
She's trying to wash the blood off her hands. That's what I wanted for Filip. I didn't want to give her a chance.
Glad you did.
That's good. I like that. The fact that we got the Clarissa's like average life expectancy 5 years is like, yeah, she might like die this episode. Like 80% sure she's gonna die this episode. Man. Look at this big happy family. Big happy happy family. There we go.
Fire!
We're doing it. We go. We go.
Direct hit on Pella.
That was not the Pella.
They're falling back.
That was not the Pella.
The other ships aren't falling back to protect it.
That was a decoy. 17% match.
Captain, all ships report.
What the fuck is that?
Sector 123, checking.
All target A systems green.
Was it just a random ship with like the Pella's like had all its like armor in order to pretend it was the Pella? Not even. It is the Pella. It's just a different type of ship. You damage armor, essentially. If they kill my girl, I'm gonna be pissed. Fucking god damn it!
Give the Pella to me.
She's gonna keep going. She's gonna go out like a badass.
Captain,
We can still catch it.
Is she gonna ram it? Is she gonna ram into it and kamikaze?
Oui, bossman.
Oh, this boy.
We think the same.
Both of y'all gonna do the same? No, he's gonna go first. Oh! Got him! Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Okay, now I think the drummer might actually live. Maybe.
shut down drive 3 and drive.
Bodied.
I don't.
She needs help.
Don't steal David Tennant's lines. She's out. Wow.
We've done all we can.
She's alive. Ah! But the old guy that I didn't fully trust, he was a real one. Imagine if Amos had one of the suits that that Bobbie has. That would make him actually unstoppable. The rest got hit.
God damn, the new armor health.
Good job, Dad. Clarissa might get hit and die here. She's gonna fix it and die in the process. they're gonna get a burst of trust, and it's gonna be like Clarissa like physically holding it together or some shit. This fucking epic battle.
Just a ratchet strap and some elbow grease.
Ooh.
I'm gonna earn my keep.
Oh, that was good. Okay, she's not dead. She didn't mode out. Amos, don't you fucking dare die on me, boy. Such a funny green screen. Oh boy. This is probably like the worst roller coaster feeling. I can imagine being the actor filming this, just being sat on a fucking chair in front of a green screen, just screaming, ah! And then you look at it in the show and it looks so fucking cool. There she is. Fucking Iron Manning her way down. If we take out one of the guns, they have a spot when they can show up.
Fuck it. I'd rather get shot in the front than the back.
They're going in.
Draper! What the fuck are you doing?
She's being a hero, that's what she's doing. I don't give a fuck. She's going all in. She might die. This sounds like a hero death. All the bullet holes does nothing. She's just tanking all of it. Doesn't matter, keep going. She's gonna keep going. And she's gonna get her RPG target log and she's gonna be a fucking hero. It's so fucking cool. RPG log. There I go. Fuck that. Done. Amos! Fuck!
I got you, bro!
Fuck. If they kill both of them. Can the Rossi help? Did the Rossi help? Please tell me the Rossi took out all of them. Ah! Oh my god.
Fuck yeah, Rossi.
Let's fucking go. Woo! This episode has no breaks. As it should.
Your request is denied.
Ooh.
Any further communications will be refused, and any ships attempting to enter our space will be destroyed. You were a useful distraction, but I have gods to kill.
What the fuck?
The ring to Laconia is now closed.
Holy shit.
You're on your own. Hoi dang, about to load up.
Oh, you got fucked. Oh, you got fucked, bro. That actually makes me really happy.
So easily cope with all the people we've killed.
That's easy, I'm a sociopath.
Greatest gift any true builder could wish was to die fighting for the cause.
For the cause or for you?
And I would be proud because this is the life we've chosen.
When did I choose?
You are my son. After all we've done, you still can't see what you've been given.
I do now.
I really want him to kill Marco. I really want him to be the one to do it.
We will rise.
Philip is walking in, I
From
think.
the ashes.
Yeah.
Of the
I want
innocent
everyone to
failures.
question what he's saying. To be like, I don't know about this one, Chief. I feel like we're losing. Philip is like, this starts to feel a lot like a cult, Dad. Red.
We might be able to trigger the ring entities. When we tie
Because
the
it
orders
triggers
right,
when a specific amount of
we
matter
should be able
or
to wake the
energy.
entities up.
Is this a good idea?
Enter Marco once and for all.
I agree, but also we're fucking with things that we don't understand, we don't know about. Yeah, Philip is right there. There we go. Red. Yeah. Okay, they're all gonna get red ghosted. What's gonna happen then? This might not be death. I don't know what this is. Red ghosted. Yeah, whatever the fuck this is. I feel like this is not death. We had a lot of Philip characterization for him to just get red ghosted. What the fuck is this? Is the question. Okay. Alright. We red ghosted them. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And this time it was her, the one who did it. So that's different. She's the one that came up with the idea. She's the one that pressed the button.
We need to put something out. The United Nations, Mars, and the Belt have formed a new authority to administer trade to the ring colonies.
Put this out. Belters will control the traffic through the ring space.
Oh God, here we go again.
An authority with 2 inner votes and only 1 for the belt isn't sharing power. It's a puppet show.
I take great offense to that. You have no
Prime
right.
Minister,
I'm tired of being talked at.
you control a faction. The most important one, yes. But you're not a government. Half of the stations in the Belt and the outer planets sided with Inaros. I give you my word that you and your people will be represented. Equal status and dignity to Mars and Earth.
The belt will treat you with respect. You have my word. We will take our niche in the future and allow you yours. You have my word. Is that good enough? Will you take that? Why is your
I like
word
that.
enough for me and mine, not enough for you?
Inaros wasn't all wrong. He was cruel, but he tapped into something real.
That's
He
why
was
people
able to
followed
do
him.
what he did because so many people were angry and frightened. They saw the future, and they weren't in it. You want to show someone you trust them, you put your life in their hands. You can't just pretend to. If you can't do that, you don't really trust them. And if we can't find a way to trust each other at this point, I doubt we ever will.
What if this transport union were an independent agency based on Medina Station, headed by someone with no allegiances? A friend of the Belt.
And no.
Holden.
It would have to be a unanimous choice of Earth, Mars, and the Belt, of course. A person
It would be
above
Holden.
reproach, a
Oh my
bright
god.
with a history of working honorably with all sides.
Everyone looks at him.
Wait a minute.
James,
I'm not a politician.
it's time for you to make history.
Oh my god. That's cool though. That's really cool. That makes a lot of sense. This is really cool. Oh, he has a prosthetic.
I wanted. Before I agreed to take this job,
He's gonna continue talking.
I insisted on a few conditions. One of them was that Kamina Drummer would be vice president. My first official acts will define not only me, but the transport union itself. I'm not a belter. I'm just a man from Earth representing people I respect and sometimes love.
Don't you fucking do it.
Which is why, as my first official act, as president of the transport union, I resign. The future of the Belt has to speak with a Belter's voice, and in that spirit, I'm proud to introduce the new president of the transport union, Kamina Drummer.
That's so fucking good. He got him. You fucking got him in public. No one can say nothing to that.
You duplicitous little shit.
It was the only way.
I fucking love this. It's so fucking good.
I hope you're right.
It's so fucking good. That's so good. This episode really makes me feel really good. It's a really good episode. Never mind the fact that Clarissa's gonna die in 5 years. That makes me sad, but
You'd still have the original if you hadn't come visit me. And I always liked it, so...
I forgot that he had that. Oh, she got another one. Holden, the fucking goat, dude. Like, I didn't even actually see that move coming. But that's such a Holden move.
It's more important to try to help people than to know that you did.
Take my station.
Did he leave? Did he fucking leave?
You never know the effect
He
you might
left.
have on someone.
He left right before.
Maybe
He
one
didn't get
cool thing you
red
said
ghosted.
Forever. Courage.
His name is Phil Nagata, yeah. He fucking left. That's so fucking good. I was wondering why we didn't get see Philip red ghosted. I was like, that doesn't make much sense.
I don't know what happened to that protomolecule sample. Sooner or later, we're gonna have to do it.
Let's just stay here for a minute.
Let's just chill. Let's just calm down for a second. Let's just not worry about plot right now. Let's just enjoy life, okay? Okay. I like that Holden is like, well, you know, there's all this like unsolved plot threads, and it's like, shut up! Enjoy the final episode, bitch! That's good. That's good. That's such a like sappy happy ending, isn't it? Just like everyone lived, everything's fine. Marco's dead. Filip is not. Drummer is now in charge of the ring stations. It's so fucking good. It's so good. By the way, I was sold to continue watching the end because there's an extra thing. I see something in the ring, something going into the ring. I think it's the ship of Laconia, isn't it? And I also see red in the ring. Okay. That's it. That's the Expanse. Dude, that was so fucking sick. That was so good. The Expanse is over. Man, like, you know what's funny about that ending is that it feels like an ending, but at the same time it feels like it feels like it's not. And the thing is that it's really not, because I know there are more books in the series, but at the same time this is the end of this show. So moving forward, there might be a new show that comes out that continues this story, or there might be like a movie or a set of movies that come out and continue this story. There's so many like plot threads that we can follow, because ultimately this was the end of like the war arc, you know? That was it. And we did get a little bit more into what was happening over at Laconia as well, but that's just kind of it. But so okay. There's a lot to talk about in this episode. And the thing is that I don't even know where to begin, because it felt like this episode, like on a scene-to-scene basis, there was so much cool shit happening, you know? Okay, let me just jump right away to the thing I want to talk to the most, which is... Okay, let me just jump right into the hype shit in the episode to me, which was Holden playing everyone in like the most Holden way possible. And I actually didn't see that coming. And like in hindsight, I should have, you know? In hindsight, when he said we made this deal only by the terms that I specifically asked for, and they would have to be like fucking done on paper for sure. And he's like, all right, so the first thing I asked was for Kamina Drummer to be the vice president. And they're like, all right, Drummer's gonna be your vice president. You're Holden. You can take care of things. And Holden's like, okay, cool. And then they have this whole like public event, this whole inauguration presentation, public press, when they're like presenting this new group that has been established in order to kind of control the ring gates in a way. So he's the leader of this entity, and he's like, yes, I am Holden. I am James Holden. I am the leader of this entity, and it's all good. And yes, I was chosen unanimously by everybody because everybody loves me. Anyway, so I was also chosen with the condition that whatever the fuck I say happens. So, all right, my first act as the president is for me to resign. Therefore, Kamina Drummer is the new president. And like, it's funny because Avasarala fucking saw it happen before it happened. She was like, don't you fucking say it. And she was just smiling at the cameras while saying that. It was so fucking good. And he did it anyway. And like, it got me because I actually didn't anticipate that. I was like, oh, he's gonna do some Holden shit. And he did. I just didn't catch on what it would be before it happened. So I feel a little bit dumb about that, but that was so good because it really got me. That was such a good moment. Like, and like, that's the thing is that like, I came into this episode, like, okay, I didn't come into it with this, but like, as I was watching the intro, I was like, wait, shit, it's the final episode. People can start dying now. And I got really concerned. I was like, oh my god, is Drummer gonna die? And then I was like, oh shit, is Clarissa gonna die? And then I was like, oh my god, is Bobbie gonna die? And then at the end, it's like, nobody died. Everyone's fine. Don't worry about it. And like, Drummer went from like, I'm gonna kamikaze myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna do it. And then the other guy did it. I don't remember his name, but the other guy did it. And I'm like, you know what? He was a real one. I'm sorry I didn't fully trust you until the end, but like, alright, he was a real one. He kamikazed into Marco. And like, the thing about the fight with Marco is that there wasn't really a big epic fight with Marco, which in some ways I feel like it's like fitting, because it's almost like the show is giving him the same treatment that I'm giving him, which is like, fuck you, you're not deserving of having good screen time. Just fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Goodbye. Be gone with you, little man. Your dick is tiny. moving on, you know, like it almost feels like that's what happened. And also Duarte fucked him over, and we're gonna have to talk about that because we got to learn a little bit more because of that interaction, and it almost felt like really fun. Like I was almost like when he got that transmission where Duarte said like, I don't have any use for you anymore. I have gods to slay. It's like that tells me that Duarte is up to some no good. So he's gonna be a character that matters if we ever follow through into what the story is. But more importantly, I was looking at Marco and I was like, somebody's getting fucked. Just like Marcus just got fucked. He got destroyed. He got like everyone's just like, all right, I have no use for you anymore. You're just a toy. And he's just like, that's so good. Like, I wish I would have seen. So I'm guessing there was probably not enough screen time. If there would have been screen time, it would have probably been like 30 seconds of Marco just throwing a hissy fit. Just 30 seconds of him being like, ah! But we had to move on. We had to talk to Filip and stuff. And the thing about that is that Filip also like lived. I'm just like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Like, it was weird for me because I didn't see Filip get like red ghosted. I'm gonna refer to whatever happens to being red ghosted because I was like, okay, people are getting red ghosted. I don't know what that does. And seeing like the thing is that because Filip wasn't the Pella, it made me think that being red ghosted doesn't mean that you die. And I actually don't think it means that you die, but it means something else that I don't know if we can like fully put into words, comprehend, or like be a concept that I can even come up with. I mean, the first thing I can come up with is something similar to what happened to Miller. The Miller became like a weird force ghost that lives inside your brain, but not really. It's transmitted to your brain, but also it's not the real Miller. It's just an entity using the memories of the real Miller to create the real Miller. But sometimes the real Miller would take over the fake Miller. And it's like, all right, I don't know what the fuck is happening anymore. So it could be something like that. Maybe Marco could show up again as a force ghost. The thing is that I was thinking, okay, they're not really dead. They're going to come back or something. Because we just got a lot of like Filip characterization just for then at the end for him to just get red ghosted. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't compute. But then they went back and they were like, actually, Filip got away. Filip was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And he just fucking left. He just fucking decided, fuck this, I'm out of here. And that was awesome because like, I didn't see that either until they revealed it. So that means that Filip is going to be an active character in whatever the continuation of the story is going to be. Like, okay, here's the thing. I'm just going to assume that we're probably going to get a continuation to whatever this is in some other form, you know? Either be a new show or like a series of movies or whatever, what have you. I'm saying there's probably going to be some sort of continuation because like the show was canceled once before already. So it's making me think that fans are just going to be wilding and they're just going to be like, all right, now we need to get the other books adapted. And if that is the case, I will be happy with that. So if there's an actual adaptation, it would be fucking awesome. I would be super down to watch that. And I wouldn't even have a poll for it. I'm just going to watch it and it's going to be awesome. But like, we don't have a confirmation for that yet. Hopefully there will be one soon. I hope a new show or a movie or something comes out, or a series of movies, because if it's, I think there's 3 books remaining, so that's a lot of books to go through in like a single movie, so that's not gonna happen. So like either a couple of movies or like a new show. I'll be totally down for that. But the thing is that because it would be a new show or a movie or whatever, we might not even follow the same cast. Like the main cast is alive, so they might show up, but we might not even follow them, which would be really interesting to me. We could follow Filip. Like that's the thing. That's what I was thinking about. This is where all this was segueing into, is the fact that because Filip is alive and he left, and we don't even see him come in contact with Naomi or anyone in the Rosie or anyone. He just left, and he renamed the ship to like property of like Filip Nagata. Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that he literally changed his name right at that moment. I didn't realize that because he was Filip Inaros, and then right there at the end he was like, I'm Filip Nagata. Actually, that's so fucking cool. I didn't even realize that. I didn't catch that. That's awesome. So he decided to completely abandon Marco at that moment, and that was awesome. But the thing is that he left and he didn't come into contact with anyone, which makes me think that if we're gonna follow him, like if we have to pick a character to follow next season, if they're like next show and next movie, whatever, like we might follow him because if we need a different point of view, all we gotta do is to just follow him, because he's not gonna be with Naomi or with anyone at the Rosie. He's just gonna be on his own. So that to me is an indicative of like potentially having a new character we can follow. So that would be really fun. But I do hope that he meets again with his mother and they get to like actually have a life together. That would be fun. And Holden can tell him, you know what? I didn't kill you. I was the one that didn't pull the trigger. And so I don't know. Maybe he'll like his new dad better. Yeah, man. Like it's sad that like Naomi didn't get to like. I mean, it's not sad because he's alive at the end. They presented it in such a manner that it's like a reveal that he's alive, so that's good. But it is sad that Naomi thinks she killed him, and we didn't get to see her realize that she didn't. So maybe if there is some sort of continuation in the future, we can see that. So that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, so a lot of things happen in this episode, and I don't even know where to fucking begin with them. Okay, let's talk about Duarte. Fuck it. Let's talk about Duarte. The thing about Duarte and whatever's happening at Laconia is that I can tell that it is important. I can tell that it's gonna matter. Okay, I'm telling you something right now. I will say there will be a continuation for sure. And the reason why is because we followed the story that was happening at Laconia for all of these episodes. And Duarte. Little girl and Duarte and the little boy. We follow all of them. They set up so many things just for them not to go into it. I don't think that's how that would work, okay? I'm just gonna say it. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't think that they did that just knowing we're not gonna follow through. Like, I feel like maybe they already are, like, working on, like, a movie or some shit that would continue the story. Like, they did say, yeah, that's the end of the show, you know? It's like, okay, but what comes next? You know, because why else would we have all the scenes of Laconia of like the little girl and the little boy gets resurrected by the dogs and the pro molecule, whatever? Why would we have that? Why would we even have that in this season if there were no plans to like elaborate on that? So I will say that they probably like already, like, you can say like, okay, sure, they did it just in case at some point to get to adapt it. I'm just gonna say, no, fuck it. They know they're gonna adapt it. Like, they know more than we do. Like, they might be already working on it. Maybe it's even still on like Amazon. Maybe Amazon, like, maybe they were like, yeah, we're gonna make a movie now, and Amazon was like, okay. So maybe the show is over, but they still have a production going, you know? Maybe that's what's happening. Because, like, now I'm thinking about it. Like, that didn't have anything to do with the war arc, with Marco and everything. Because, like, I thought that whatever was happening at Laconia would matter with Marco. And it did matter a little bit. They did give him this, like, access to, like, this, like, new weapon or whatever. But, like, beyond that, nothing else happened. Because even in my mind, like a couple episodes ago, I was thinking like maybe like Marco would get access to like a resurrection potion or some shit, you know, like the ability to just bring dead soldiers back to life and the war would really take a turn there. But like, no, like that's not what happened. And Marco just got fucked. And whatever connections he had with Laconia, we get to hear them like send messages to each other, and the confirmation of like that's how we got like the railgun. But like there's nothing beyond that, and definitely nothing regarding the kids. So I mean, we can say that maybe the kids were the reason why Duarte was like, you know what, like I'm gonna change my mind, I'm gonna go slay some gods or whatever now, you know, like maybe that's the reason why. But the thing is that the kids really didn't matter. It really didn't matter to whatever plot we were having in the normal episode. So the fact that they even showed up makes me think, I mean, it could just be candy fan service for the book readers. I feel like it's more like they know they're gonna elaborate on it in the future, so that's why they showed up. So I'm gonna say it's like 80% confirmed. There's gonna be some sort of continuation that we're gonna see, either in the form of a show or a movie. Like, I'm saying that right now. That's my guess. So anyway, as for what was actually happening at Laconia, the little girl brought the boy back to life. It was a little bit fucked up how the boy showed up, and then the parents were like, fuck you, what are you? You're not him. And then the dad just grabbed the knife and just was like, fuck you, I'm gonna knife you. It's like, it's almost like unrealistic. Because like, I understand the idea of like, oh my god, it's a zombie, I gotta kill it, you know, it's like a demon possessing my kid, I'm gonna kill him. But like, the reality is that like, if you were in that situation, I don't think you would be able to just swing a knife at your child, you know? I don't think you would be able to do that. Like, you would be like, what the fuck? You would be like, what the fuck? But you would not grab a knife and just be like, fuck you, get away from me, demon. Like, you wouldn't do that. So the fact that they acted in such a manner is, okay, let's follow this line of thinking. Either means that they, A, were just like bad parents, they or unrealistic characters, or B, they have experience with some sort of like proto-molecule reanimation. So when they saw him, they were like, oh fuck, that's a proto-molecule reanimation. Because like, that's the thing, is that they hang out here at Laconia, which means that whatever is going on at Laconia, they have some knowledge of. Which means that maybe they have knowledge of the fact that this is like a proto-molecule possession or something. Maybe something that they have never seen before, because they've never seen like a human be brought back by it. But they know enough to know that it's like the proto-molecule acting out or something, because you can even see the blue eyes, and I think he had like a pale skin and everything. So maybe because of that knowledge, they are freaking out, you know? Maybe it's not just the fact that it's like, what are you? Maybe it's this fact of like, the proto-molecule bosses my child, shit, you know? Like, I don't know what this entity is anymore. So it could be something like that. But I'm just gonna chuck it out to being shitty parents and just move on. So the little girl has like a 500 IQ plan where the little girl puts her phone, she runs away outside, sets her phone outside with a recording of her screaming just like, hey, come here please, I need help. And then when the parents go out in order to go save her, she comes in and frees the boy, and they both run away together. And the thing is that the little girl says like, whatever, it's fine, it doesn't matter, we don't need them, we're gonna be together or some shit like that. And then the boy, and here's the thing, is that the boy proves himself to be proto-molecule smart, and he also said a line in the previous episode that really is something that a child wouldn't say. I don't remember what exactly he said, but it was something really technical. But in this episode, he also says something that he probably wouldn't know, which is, there's nothing you can eat out here, you will die. You know, it's this thing of like, he has knowledge of like the local flora and fauna in order to like tell her, you will die if you come out here with me. You should go back. But the little girl, she's ride or die. She's like, it's fine. If I die, the dogs will fix me. And it's like, okay, all right, we're doing this, I guess. It's like, and then we get the reveal that he's looking at her and he sees her through a blue filter, and he sees all the like inner nerves and workings of her body, and the same goes for like literally everything else. So that's something I already kind of assumed, because he reminds me a lot of Gatua from Fuck. What's the name of this? What was the name? Caliban's War. That was the name of the second book. So he reminds me of Gatua from the second book. And yeah, exactly. He's just the same thing. He seems to be the same thing, and because he seems to be the same thing, we know where he's gonna end up. We know what kind of direction he's gonna go into, which is it is unfortunate, but I don't know. It could be different. You know, it could be different on a person-to-person basis. You know, Jupiamao was researching to see what would happen alongside Tony Hawk, but yeah, like that's the only thing I remember about Caliban's War. You know, if you Jupiamao, the kid, Tony Hawk, and Amos saying, "I am that guy," and Plax being cool. That's Prax. Yo, Prax saved the human race, by the way. Shout outs to Prax. Anyway, so we get to reveal that the kid says all of this like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen as a result. And then we see that okay, so there's the whatever ship that is floating above Laconia, and we saw that in the previous season finale, you know, like a reveal at the end. And then this entire season has just been out there, and we don't know what the fuck it is. And it looks like kind of a ship. It is blue. I mean, it's not blue, but it's glowing blue, and it's just hanging out above Laconia, and we don't know what that is. And it seems Cortázar is doing some kind of like work on it in order to determine what the fuck it is. And Duarte, okay, here's the thing about Duarte. Y'all know what a JRPG is? A JRPG is a Japanese role-playing game, video game type. And JRPGs have notoriety for always ending up fighting some dude who became God. Duarte gives me that vibe. It gives me the vibe that he is actually the final boss. He gives me the vibe of like, this is the guy who will like surpass humanity and become a godlike entity. And that's who we have to fight. That's the guy we gotta defeat, you know? Like, you know, going back to the roots of the Expanse being a D&D RPG party, you know, like I feel like we've been going through so many campaigns, and then finally the final boss reveals itself, and it's this guy who becomes God by assimilating whatever the fuck is happening at Laconia, and that's who the party has to fight eventually. I'm just gonna say that's the vibe I get, you know? Like fucking the Expand out here writing Final Fantasy 17. So that's the vibe I get. That's the vibe I get from that guy. When he said like, I have the gods to slay, I'm just like, all right, that's the line. And his attitude, you know, like he seemed to be looking at whatever was happening on top, and he seems like pleased. And when he talked to Marco in that message, he seemed also pleased, you know? He seems like almost happy and almost like smug, just like, we're done playing with you. Now I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna become God now. Goodbye. Hang out, take care of yourself. You're gonna die. Peace out, bitch. So that was fun, and that's the vibe I get from that character. So we'll see what that character is gonna become later. I'm just gonna say this right now, just in case. Don't spoil the future books for me, okay? Books 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna get adapted. I'm gonna say right now those books are probably gonna get adapted. Don't spoil it for me, okay? Don't spoil them. Don't tell me nothing about them. If you type a comment that spoiled them and then you heard this part, go back and delete those comments, okay? I'm probably still going to see the notification, but I'm not going to get to read the full comment. And also, I think you might spare other people that haven't read the books from the fate of spoiling themselves on it. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's keep it just the Expanse, the show safe, you know? Let's not talk about the books yet. I'm actually really excited to see where the fuck this is gonna go, if it continues to go, but I'm gonna say it's probably gonna. Like, I've said this before, I said this multiple times. Like, my favorite parts about the Expanse are not the war arc, you know, just like everyone just hates each other and they want to kill each other, and it's like, whatever, man. Like, I've seen this already in so many other pieces of media. What I do want to see is how we're gonna go forward with this like weird alien aspect, you know? It's not just alien, it's like this like ancient entities that disappear and have been like killed by these other entities, and it's like, what the fuck is happening, you know? It's like really complex, and it's really interesting to me, and I want to see how that goes. But we have never gone too far into it. We've just gone far enough, just not too much. I think it would be awesome if the show went that direction moving forward. Well, the show is dead, but like whatever movie or whatever other show we're gonna do in the future goes down that direction, because I feel like at this point we have to. I feel like at this point we maybe kind of have to. So I would appreciate that a lot. But I will say right now that even though I just said that, I feel like now looking back at the show, and this has happened, you know, this entire season, I feel like looking back at the show, my favorite parts about it are probably not each like any particular storyline. It was actually probably the cast. It was actually probably the characters that we're following, because I feel like they really gave me enough time with each of these characters. They made them unique enough. They made them like their relationships and like their feelings matter enough for me to like care, you know? like, it is unfortunate what happened with Alex, because, like, I feel like I didn't get to feel that way about Alex, but right now, if he had been alive, because maybe Casimir wouldn't have been a shit, like, if that had been the case, I probably would have cared, you know? But as it is right now, well, here's the thing, is that, like, I feel like I like every other character more than Alex anyway. Every character in, like, the main cast that we got here. So maybe if we had Alex, we would have been replaced. Maybe we wouldn't have like Gunny at the end or Clarissa. So you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'll take Alex being on if Gunny is here, because I actually do like Gunny a lot. And I like that you keep calling her Gunny, even though I should call her Bobbie, because she's not longer a Gunny resurgent or whatever it was. But I like Gunny. Gunny sounds funny. Man, I just like every character. I really do. Like Holden, here's the thing, is that Holden is the type of character that like a lot of people might not like, because he might be like too boring, you know, just like Lawful Good. I like white bread, you know, just like, but at the same time, Holden continues to do all this like crazy Holden shit that only Holden would do, and it works out somehow. And it's this kind of thing that like everyone looks at him and goes like, this fucking piece of shit. All right, fine, you know? And he ends up being right, because Holden always does everything based on his own like internal morality system. He always just wants to do good, and he does, and it works out, and everyone's happy at the end because of Holden. You know, he's a hero, but he doesn't do anything to be a hero. He doesn't do anything in order to like fight anyone. And if anything, we did get to see a little bit of Holden development in Kellerman's War, when we had like 1 or 2 episodes where we got like Dark Holden, and then he was like, actually, that was shitty, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And then he immediately just went back to regular Holden, you know, and that was good. But like, the thing about Holden is that he's the type of main character that like I can see me not liking, but because he continues to do dumb shit that makes everyone say, what the fuck? And somehow it works out because it's the right thing to do, and the plot loves doing the right thing, so somehow it works out. I'm just like, you know what? Fucking good job. Because I do like a character who does strive to be good no matter what, you know? I like a character who does that. And Holden does that, and it's not boring because of the crazy shit that he does. So I think that's the only downside to like a Lawful Good character like that. It's the fact that sometimes they can be too boring. You know, it's like, all right, you're gonna do the right thing, you're gonna do the good thing, okay, and it's gonna work out, okay, and that's it. Like, there's usually no development. It's just very easy to see where things are gonna go as a result. But because Holden keeps doing shit that, like, the plot puts him in a position where he has to make a drastic choice in order to maintain true to his character, and then everyone reacts to the drastic choice that he made. And that's why it continues to be a fun character to follow. And that's why I continue to like Holden, you know? That's why I like him a lot. I'm gonna try to go through every, like, character in the show? I mean, I really like Naomi. Naomi has a lot of, like, suffering and regret, particularly regarding Filip and Marco and things that she's done, and she's trying to cope with that. And the thing is that she's so caring and loving, and, you know, from the messages that she sends to Drummer that are super, like, nice and happy, that's an example of it. But then she goes through so much suffering, even last season when she had to, like, deal with everything that happened at the pill and then jump into space and get, like, fucking traumatized, so over, like, almost exploding and killing herself in order to not get people killed when they got close to the fucking ship. Like, everything that she did right there, it was like, oh my god, girl, like, this woman cannot catch a break. I feel bad for her. But you know who I feel bad about for? Drummer. I mean, not so much this episode, because this episode, it looked like everything worked out for her, which is, I'm happy about, because I was thinking she might die. Even previous episode, I was thinking she might die, because I was thinking she's gonna, like, she's alone in her ship. Like, she's not alone, there's other, like, her crew and shit, but, like, none of them are, like, named characters that I give a shit about. It's just extras. So it would make sense for her to die in combat with Marco, because then everyone would be like, oh my god, we lost Drummer. But realistically, we would only lose one character that we care about, you know? So it wouldn't be too drastic of a loss if it was just her. And I thought she was gonna die, and they really made me think she was gonna die because her ship got fucked up, and then she was like, all right, I'm gonna kamikaze myself into them. And then the other guy, and I'm gonna actually, you know what, he just starts me to learn his name, so I'm gonna go and see what the fuck his name was. Yeah, it's Walker. So Walker, this guy, I mean, I feel sorry for him because I actually didn't trust him, like, until like right at the end. I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. And then right at the end, he was like, fuck it, we ball, and he's just rammed into the fucking pillar, because it was so fucking good, because like he decided to go full spill towards him. And the thing is that, I mean, they shot him, but they didn't shut him down because there's no gravity, so therefore the trajectory of the ship kept going in the same direction. So even though he probably died before it crashed, it didn't matter because the ship was gonna crash into the ship as well. And so they got hit, like the pillar got hit, and Rosenfeld, the woman, the blind woman, she died. And like Philip had this moment of like, oh shit, she died, fuck. And Philip is having this thing of like, we lost a comrade that mattered, you know. And Marco, being the shit that he is like, all right, shit happens. And Philip is like, how do you cope so easily with people that die? And Marco just blurted out some bullshit of like, everyone should be happy to die for the cause or whatever. You know, it just doesn't matter. The real answer is because he's a fucking psychopath. And I feel like Philip had the moment of realization there. And then Marco went and he blurted out some other bullshit in the deck with everyone. And everyone was just like, yes. What was the chant that they started chanting? Was it like Beltalowda? I feel like that was the moment where Philip was like, this starts to feel a little bit like a cult. I'm gonna just get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna just step out, you know? And like, that's what he did, and I fucking love that. But like, I like that Philip confronted him and asked him exactly the things that he needed to ask earlier, which were like, how do you cope with that so easily? Because he doesn't care. And the second question, because like Marcus said, like, we all chose to be here. And Philip is like, when did I choose? And I'm like, just like, yes, exactly. Exactly. He got there. Shout outs to Philip. He got there. It only took him like 2 seasons. He got there. Shout outs to him. The boy made it. You know, but like, I give Philip shit for like, or it seems like I give Philip shit for taking so long to get there. But the reality is that if you were the kind of person, I mean, if you were a person in that situation where you grew up in this environment and your mentor figure, your parent, was that guy, it would make a lot of sense for you to actually believe to your core all of the shit that he says, because you've never known anything outside of it. So you believe all these lies, and it would take a lot for you to actually break free from them. So the fact that he did is like, I'm actually genuinely proud of him. It did take him a long time, but he got there, and that's good, and I'm proud of him. And that's why he lived, and everyone go red ghosted. So anyway, Philip could become an actual key character that we follow later as a result. I just fucking love how they have this whole like meeting, or like a board meeting, where like every like key member in politics shows up at this table, you know. We had Drummer, we had that other woman that I didn't fully trust from Sirius. She's there too. We got Christian, we got the Martians, we got the whatever, we had some dudes from Earth, we got James Holden, for some reason he's there too. I don't know why he's there, but he's there. So everyone's sitting there and everyone's talking about like, okay, what do we do with the ring gate? They keep arguing about like what would be the most like the best thing to do, who should keep control of the ring gates. And like the thing is that the inners don't want to give control of the ring gates to anyone. They want to keep it themselves. The belters keep thinking like it's in the belt, and also like that was like that station is ours. Like, it's ours. It should be ours. You know, it's like a fucking Malvinas situation over here. The thing is that Christian keeps saying like, don't worry, we're gonna take care of you. Don't worry, like you're gonna be fine. You have my word. And then Drummer is like, why can you not have my word? You know, why do I have to take your word that you will be fair to us when you could take our word that we will be fair to you? You know, just like, why don't we get the same treatment that, like, why do we get the treatment that we're always getting instead of you getting the same treatment that you give to us? Instead, we give it to you, you know, just like we keep control of it, but you have our word that will be fair to you. And then Holden comes in and it's like, you have to trust them. You have to maintain trust in order to like make this work, this alliance, this peace. Like you cannot claim to trust someone when you actually don't. And like the fact that you don't want to give them control of this just because you're worried about what might happen if they have it, it's the fact of like, you're not actually trusting them, and you should. So Christian instead goes, what if we gave control of the station? I mean, it wasn't even control of the station. I know it was like a new entity that would monitor the transit of the ring gates or some stuff like that. What if we formed this like new association that wasn't necessarily answering to any faction, but it would be led by an entity that is apolitical, we know for a fact has the best interests and benefits of all factions, and is someone that has actually helped out like literally everyone. And I just started listening because I was like, it's Holden, and everyone just turned around and started looking at Holden, and Holden was like, oh, hold on. I didn't say shit. Like, I'm not the right man. And everyone's like, you are. If there's any person that we expect to be fair and like good to everyone, if there's one guy we all trust, is you. Because Holden has like legitimately been all around the system. He has done so much good for like literally everyone. So if there's any man literally everyone could trust, it was Holden. So like it came down to that. They didn't trust on each faction, but they did trust Holden. So they were like, all right, Holden's gonna be the one in charge. And Holden is like, instead of being like, all right, I'm not gonna do it, instead he went like, okay, I'm gonna do it on my own specific terms. And they didn't see coming that he would pull up the fucking dumb bullshit of like, I resign, Drummer's the new chairman of the Chojo clan. You know, just, he pulled a Kiryu! I forgot about that. Oh my god, he did legitimately pull a Kiryu. Oh my god. Because he set up Duarte to be the next chairman. Yeah, he pulled a Kiryu. Oh my god. Holden and Kiryu are literally the same character. Oh my god. I just realized that. Jesus Christ. That's so good. That's so fucking good. Anyway, references to my own media that I enjoy aside. Anything else about this episode I want to talk about? I mean, there's a lot of cool shit, you know? There was this fight with Amos and Gunny sieging the railguns. For a moment, I thought we were going to lose Gunny. And for a moment, I thought we were going to lose Amos. And then we didn't lose either. Gunny did this, like, super ballsy thing that I really love, where she just charged in. She was like, fuck it, with ball. She just started going. She just started running. And they keep shooting her, but she has fucking super armor. So she just tanked every shot. And then she got close enough to lock on the missiles and shoot the missiles, which destroyed the railgun, which gave the Rosie an opening in order to come in and fucking fire support and save both of them. They took out the station, I believe. I'm pretty sure they did. So there we go. We fixed that problem. I was thinking like, how the fuck are they gonna be able to sneak in? And they sneak in hiding behind another like cargo ship. So sure, that worked out. So good job to them. Sneaking mission successful. They took out the guns. Again, the battle with Marcos didn't really feel like an epic battle because it was almost like the Voltor forces went and fought him and they lost, and then they just fucking like they left because they got hit by the kamikaze attack from Walker, and they were like, well shit, we should retreat. And then they retreated. We didn't get to see like the rest of the Free Navy forces ever like lose or anything. So but whatever, let's say that they all retreated. And they retreated into ring gates. And like, why were they retreating into ring gates? That's a good question. I mean, just safe cover, I guess. Or they could go into a different ring. Because the guy in Laconia, Duarte, he did say, like, you don't have control over the ring anymore. But they could be referring to the Laconia ring specifically. Because they said Laconia's closed off or something like that. So yeah, we can say that maybe they still have control over like literally every other ring. So maybe they wanted to go somewhere else just to like hide, cover, anything. So they decided to go through the ring in order to do that. And Naomi saw we trigger the like red ghosts energy, Because the thing is that she explained this in a previous episode, and I didn't fully catch what the explanation was, but I did during the editing. And what it was is that if there's a big enough energy reading, either because of mass or just because of energy, at the ring gates will become the red things that come in and take you away and make you disappear. But it's not at random, it happens when there's a high enough energy reading. So Naomi realized what the threshold was during that fight because she saw the red ghost start to come out. So she thought, okay, while Marco is going through the ring, we're gonna send the like cargo ship, whatever the name of it was, we're gonna send it alongside them, and we're gonna trigger the energy reactor to fucking blow up as that happens. And when you do that, it should be high enough for the energy reading to trigger the red ghost. And so the red ghost trigger, and Marco go fucked up. Marco and his entire army just got red ghosted, and they just got disappeared. And you did get to see Marco literally get like disintegrated, like Thanos snap, and it was pretty cool. I don't know if that is actually death. We'll see later in the future, but yeah, that's how we defeated him. Cool. It was like a cinematic death. It wasn't like a war death, but I'll take it. I'll take the cinematic death. It felt good. The only person we lost was Walker, really. Yeah, he's the only person we lost. Walker. Sure. Fuck it. We take those. We take fucking that guy that I didn't remember his name. We take those. So he died in a kamikaze attack. He went out like a badass too. And I like the drummer was willing to go out like a badass too. And I'm glad that she's alive because I would have been sad. Because I fucking love drummer. I just realized now that I wanted to talk about every character and then I got sidetracked. But I fucking love drummer. She's like definitely one of my favorite characters at this point. Like, previous episode really did a lot for drummer for me. Because, like, I feel so bad for drummer. I hate how alone she is. How committed she is. But, like, she got a good ending. She got a good ending out of this deal. She's the one in charge of everything, which she should have been. Because, like, even in the days of Fred Johnson, she was actually the one that was behind everything. She was really the brains behind everything. So the fact that she was now, she's now actually in charge of the ring gates, it makes a lot of sense. I trust her. She's awesome. And it's even one of the things where it's like, it's Holden, the one that gave her control of the ring gates. You know, it's the guy who took your girl. You know, it's like she's completely in love with Naomi and she's probably never going to be past that. But she has mixed feelings towards Holden because she knows that Holden is a good person. She knows that Holden makes Naomi happy. So in that sense, she is glad that Holden is around, but in a different sense, Holden is kind of the reason behind her suffering. In a more direct manner, it would be Naomi the reason behind her suffering. All of her suffering is because of Naomi in a way, and that's why we had the whole interaction in the previous episode, and why she was like, fuck you, but also like breaking down crying in her arms. But Holden is also a person that she looks at and she feels really mixed emotions about. And the fact that he's the one that is like, Kamina Drummer is going to be the new leader. She's going to be the one controlling everything in the ring gates. And she's like, holy shit. Like, he really did that for me. That's awesome. That's awesome. Holden's awesome. And I'm so glad Kamina got that. I'm so glad Kamina got that treatment. Amos. Awesome character. Like, from the very beginning of the show, like, I didn't know how he felt about him. Like, I was like, I don't know if I like this guy, because he really struck you like as the party barbarian, you know, just kind of brute. But as the show went on, you start to realize he's a much more like in-depth character than you might think, and there's a lot to Amos that also makes him like really interesting and funny sometimes, and also badass. And I fucking love that about Amos. Gunny, she's just badass. She's awesome. I fucking love her. And she had a death flag at one point in the episode, and that's why I thought she died later, but she didn't. She's fine. I'm so glad she's fine. Clarissa is such a good character. She got so much development. She really did. And I like that in this episode, there was a moment where Naomi looked at Clarissa, and Naomi was like, she's trying her best to like redeem herself or something like that. I don't remember exactly the words, but she was like, that's what I wanted out of Filip, but I didn't give her that. And it's the fact of like, she's admitting that she wasn't fair on Clarissa when she wanted the same out of her son. So she was just being selective. So it's the thing of like, you know, like, I should give her a chance, and she did. And that was awesome. And I love that, because Clarissa should deserve the chance, because I can see Clarissa legitimately trying her best. And we did get to see for a moment here that I suppose this is another plot thread that was kind of left untouched, which is also like a thing that works out for a sequel, is the fact that Clarissa was given a life expectancy of 5 years. That sucks. It really sucks that she was given that, like, out of nowhere, like, because, like, that really didn't matter. I thought that she was given that so she could, like, die this episode, you know? She would be someone that would be like, you know what, like, I'm gonna die anyway, let me go out with a bang, doing something good, you know? But she didn't. She did well, but she didn't, like, kill herself in the process, and she lived. So now I'm thinking, why was she ever just given that, like, 5-year life expectancy deceased thing? You know, why was that? Unless it's something we're gonna follow into a next, like, continuation of the show. If it's a plot thread that we're gonna follow eventually, you know, just like next, they're gonna be a 5-year time skip. They're gonna be like Clarissa's funeral, you know, something like that. That could happen, but it would make me sad that Clarissa doesn't get like a full goodbye if that is the case. So I don't know what they could do with that, but they didn't do anything with it this episode, so I'm just like, I don't know. These are feelings that I don't know where to place. So, yeah. Amos was a badass. Gunny was a badass. Duarte is a JRPG god. Drummer is awesome. Clarissa is awesome. Holden is awesome. I really like seeing Drummer hang out with, like, the inner forces and all of them teaming up and, like, discussing strategy, and Holden too. Like, it really felt like an all-star cast of characters, just everyone's coming in together, because, like, God, I love Drummer so much, and it's so interesting to me that Drummer wasn't a real book character. I mean, kind of, but not really, you know, like, everything that makes Drummer wasn't really a thing in the books. Drummer in the show is like an amalgamation of multiple characters from the books, as far as people told me. So, like, the fact that Drummer ends up becoming this, I'm just like, that's so good. I fucking love that. I love that so much. And then at the end, you see the Rosie just sail into the sunset or into nothingness, you know? Just like, they're gonna continue their adventures on space, just chilling and having fun, and, like, yeah, they're still flying out there. And shout out to them, shout out to our boys. They made it, they survived the show, and that's it for the Expanse. But that's not really the end. It doesn't feel like the end, even though it kind of does. And I do like how Holden, he has this moment talking to Naomi, and this is going to be the end of the discussion because I'm running out of voice, I can tell. But I like this moment where Holden is talking to Naomi, and Holden is like, but there's this whole thing, there's a lot of things, the Brawl Molecule sample we never found, and, you know, just like, there's so many, like, loose plot threads that we didn't finish, we didn't resolve, and Naomi's like, shut the fuck up, just chill for like a second, bro. And he's like, all right, let's chill. And that's the end. It's like, it's almost like he's teasing us. It's almost like there's a lot of things we have to go into still. And she's like, bro, just enjoy the moment. And I'm just like, you know what? I will enjoy the moment. Thank you very much. So I really like that. That was like a little bit of a meta moment. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that's how it felt. And then at the end, you see the red shed and the ship hit the ring gates. I don't know what that means. I literally don't know what that means. Maybe like the ship flying over Laconia has enough like energy in it that if you yeet it at the ring, it would actually awaken the red ghost forever. Something like that. So that's my random prediction, but that doesn't really go into any plot predictions. That's just me saying random shit. Anyway, I think that's it for this discussion. Like, here's the thing, is that I've been talking about this for like an hour, and I've been recording for like 2-3 hours. I took a little bit of a break between the episode and this, but like, I don't know what else to say. I'm getting tired. And I don't even know if there's anything else I want to touch into it. I can look back into the show and talk about the show as a whole, but like, I don't know if I can think of anything right now, and I'm really tired. So I feel like this is gonna be it, and I'm just hoping, and I'm low-key expecting to get some kind of continuation from this, you know, just some other show or some movies or something. I would love that so much. I really want to revisit this world with these characters, and I'm just really happy I was here for this journey. So yeah, shout outs to the show, shout outs to the people that pushed for the show to happen, for me to watch it, and for the people that saved the show back in season 3. Just like, y'all are the real ones, y'all are real fans, y'all care a lot, and I appreciate that, because we got to see this ending. All right, that was awesome. There's no extra content. I checked, there's no more x-rays, people told me anyway. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Man, it feels like I feel bad ending it, you know, but I have to end it. There's nothing else I can say, not that it comes to mind anyway. So that's gonna be it for this reaction episode to The Expanse and in general. So yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you guys in our next adventure. Take care. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this and every episode of The Expanse. You can watch the entire playlist for The Expanse on the channel if you just want to revisit all episodes. You can support me on Patreon to help the channel out, and also if you just want to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer or the full-length reaction episodes to The Expanse, that also works out. Check out social media, my Twitch stream. I stream on Twitch, I play games sometimes. Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff that I do. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.